Greetings and welcome to Meet the Digger. We have a very special guest with us, Mr. Matt Perdue, the Tarheel digger himself. We will be sharing his bio with you, and it's very, very interesting. Matt, you did an excellent job on that, and I appreciate it so much. Matt is, to me, one of a kind. I think I started watching him 4 or 5 years ago and was always very impressed with his knowledge and with what he has recovered. And we are just so tickled to have him on the program today. Matt has quite a few subscribers. He started in 2012, so that's almost 8 years ago. That's quite a while. I think I should say that as far as Matt goes, I know he was an inspiration to me. I don't think that we can say anything greater about a person than the fact that they inspire others to excel and to succeed. And Matt certainly has done that for the metal detecting community. Then talking about Harmonica Hill, I love to see that. Matt, I guess that you were from the north originally when I first saw you, even though we knew that you lived in North Carolina at the time. And I know a lot of Tarheel people back when I was in college in Chattanooga. So a hop, skip, and a jump to North Carolina. Is probably known all over YouTube. I think probably a lot of us diggers were, in a sense, weaned on what Matt produced on YouTube. I know that my format's a little different because I'm kind of the dramatic type. Matt is straightforward and presents the finds and then talks a little bit about them. We all have our different niches. I think it's wonderful that when Matt got into detecting, that I think almost instantly he wanted to put it on YouTube and document, the things that he found. I'm basically the same way. Matt's videos are always great quality. His wrap-ups, I like the Bounty paper towel wrap-up. I think that's quite unique. Do you get any royalty off that, Matt? Let us know. Matt, when I was there in Chattanooga, Atlanta's about 120 miles south of Chattanooga. I don't know whether you've ever visited up there, but the Chickamauga battlefield, Matt, at his wrap-ups, he's very precise and articulate. I would encourage you to go over and check out his channel, subscribe to it. That's Tarheel Digging on YouTube. And I'll put a link to that channel in this Facebook post. So plan to do that. And I know that you'll be glad you did. We will be sharing his bio and then some absolutely stunning pictures that he's taken of some of his wonderful finds. So we'll get right into the bio. Matt Perdue, aka Tarheel Digging on YouTube. In June of 2012, I purchased my first metal detector, a Fisher F4. I had recently moved from my birthplace of MN down to Raleigh, North Carolina. Is that Minnesota or Michigan? An area rich in American history. At that time, I was just hoping to find a few silver coins. Little did I know how that it would evolve into a lifetime hobby. Yeah, it's amazing how that fever catches you, isn't it? Just, to me, there's just no way you can get away from it. I mean, when I go to gas stations or grocery stores, it's always the coin star. It's always keeping your eyes down a little bit, seeing, people drop stuff. Gas stations, like I mentioned, I found money laying on top of the pumps. So you just have that treasure hunting fever. On my 4th trip out with the F4, I found my first silver coin. I remember cleaning it off and thinking, I don't recognize that president. Let's all keep in mind that is a good thing, unless it's one of those new presidential dollars. Because it was a Spanish real from 1816. Needless to say, I was blown away and hooked on the hobby for good. At that time, I decided to start a YouTube channel to chronicle my adventures. I became involved in the metal detecting community on YouTube, watching many different videos from several channels. My channel, Tarheel Diggin', was well received in the community and grew rapidly and quite unexpectedly. Gee, Matt, I wish I knew that feeling. So many guys out there anymore. To date, I've uploaded over 200 videos. I still post occasionally, but the last few months I haven't been able to do much digging due to the high temperatures and very little rain. That's the thing about the South. I remember Chattanooga. It was just stifling hot and humid in the summer. Yeah, I just don't know how anybody, unless it was maybe deep woods or something, but then the mosquitoes would eat you alive. It seems everyone who gets into the hobby goes through an evolution. For me, finding my first 3-ringer bullet from the Civil War spurred an interest in finding relics from that era. Suddenly, coins and jewelry took a back seat. I spent more of my time researching local history and finding areas where soldiers traveled and camped. Also, I located several old home sites. They became some of my best detecting locations. As far as equipment, I've used many different detectors over the years, from the Fisher F4, Minelab E-Track, Fisher F44, the F19, and the XP Deus. The Deus has become my main detector for the last 2 years. I wish I could afford one, but then again, I'm always afraid to try something new, that I might be discouraged that I can't get onto it. And yeah, the Deus seems to be the creme de la creme of detectors. Matt Cordy, one of our diggers, he loves it, and he dig an 800 Equinox, but I think he's thinking the Deus, he's going to pretty much stay with it. The Deus has become my main detector for the last 2 years. It's a deadly machine in those iron-infested home sites I love to hunt. Plus, the lightweight makes it a wonderful unit for scouting. For someone new to the hobby, here's what I recommend. Do your research on detectors and get a machine that will be versatile. Watch YouTube videos and read product reviews. Don't buy a cheap machine. As anything else, you get what you pay for. Buy from someone who will help you learn the machine. In 2016, my job moved me to Atlanta, Georgia. Having to start over with researching good places to detect has been a challenge. But I enjoy detecting in Georgia, a state that also is rich in history from the Civil War. Yeah, I wish I'd have been into detecting in my young days in Chattanooga. I bet I would have carried 500 tons of bullets home. I kept Tarheel Digging for my YouTube channel name, mostly because Peachtree Digging just does not have a good ring to it. I agree. I hope to be out detecting more now that the temperatures have dropped to a more normal level here in Georgia. If anyone has questions for me, I can be reached at tarheeldiggin@gmail.com. Thanks so much for sharing, Matt. I really appreciate that bio and your good input. Well, I wish you well in your detecting hobby. I call it detecting career. Let's face it, we never get away from it. And you do get paid. Even if you go to the park, just think, if you bring home 10 cents, you got paid. Of course, you maybe lost in gas and batteries and all that other, but anyway, Matt, thank you so much. God bless you and keep you. And again, may all your digs make you smile. Why? Because you're bringing history back to the future. My hair okay? I've been out in the wind. I had to walk the dog. Wind is terrible. We had a cold front come through, and so far it's been dry. A few sprinkles, but the November winds will be here before we know it. So it's going to be gloves and hats and scarves, and run into the car to get warm sooner than you think. So hopefully you can park very close to where you're digging, and if you need to get warm, then it'll be accessible. I got another dog eating here. There's no end to it. Do I look all ready-eye? No, I haven't been. No, you don't do that. It's a bad thing. Shush! Hey! Yeah, his owner yelled at him because he was marking all the time. That's not politically correct, I apologize. Did you hear about the two metal detectors that started arguing about which one of them was the best metal detector? Language got out of hand, unfortunately. It was all